Students of class 10A and 10B, welcome to my history class. Today's points as mentioned in the board. First point, composition of the Security Council. Second, veto power of the Security Council and functions and powers of the Security Council. Initially, we have to learn about the definition of the Security Council, about the concept of the Security Council. What is Security Council? Security Council is, one of the most important organs of the United Nations. The Security Council, in my previous class I discussed, plays an important role in consulting various issues with the General Assembly. The General Assembly is supposed to consult various issues with the Security Council. Especially one example I gave you, the Secretary General is appointed in consultation with the Security Council by the General Assembly. Now, Security Council is actually the executive body of the United Nations. The Security Council is actually the executive body of the United Nations. And it has, some primary responsibilities to shoulder. And what type of responsibilities? The primary responsibilities of the Security Council is to maintain international security, international peace, and it functions continuously. For that reason, each representative, that means a representative from each members has to be present in the headquarters of the Security Council at all times, because it works continuously. Now, what is the composition of the Security Council? The Security Council, consists of 15 members. Out of 15 members, 5 are permanent members and 10 are non-permanent members. 5 members are France, China, Russia, Britain and United States of America. These are 5 permanent members of the Security Council. And 10 non-permanent members are elected from different groups. These are, as I mentioned, I am going to mention Afro-Asian countries, 5 members. 5 non-permanent members are elected. Latin American countries, 2 non-permanent members are elected. And then, West European and other countries, 2 non-permanent members are elected, and East European countries only 1 non-permanent member is elected. So these 10 non-permanent members are elected for a term of 2 years. They are elected by the General Assembly by a 2/3 majority for a term of 2 years. Each member who gets retired, after retirement, they cannot be re-elected. Generally, no chance is given. The member is not eligible for the immediate re-election. The presidency of the council rotates monthly. Then monthly, these non-permanent members are elected for a term of 2 years. Now, the veto power of the Security Council. The veto power of the Security Council. What is veto power, my dear students? The meaning of veto power is to utilize special powers by which any political deadlock can be happened by any member's country of the Security Council. That means each permanent member of the Security Council has the voting right, has the veto power. Each member can utilize its veto power. Now, what is veto power? Special power. By utilizing this power, any member country can create an atmosphere, can create any kind of controversial matter which are generally solved in consultation with the same country. That means, suppose one country, one permanent member of the Security Council utilize its veto power. In that case, the international crisis, the international problems which was going to be solved, suddenly the process of solving might be interrupted because of using the veto power of one permanent member. Since each permanent member of the Security Council means 5 permanent members of the Security Council, out of 5 permanent member, any member of the Security Council, any permanent member can utilize its veto power. And whenever any permanent member uses its veto power, the political deadlock which was going to be solved, which was going to be broken, can be complicated. The process can be complicated. That's why the permanent member has to be careful. They are supposed to be careful from time to time so that points of difference can be avoided. That's why sometimes some permanent member, in order to avoid the allegations that you have used veto power, that's why we are unable to solve the problem. One weak country, one powerful countries of Europe, one powerful country of Europe has become aggressor, and they are threatening one weak countries of Europe. So it must be stopped under the terms of the Security Council, but we could not make her stop. It is due to your mistake. That's why sometimes some permanent member of the Security Council, sometimes the permanent member of the Security Council who intends to use her veto power in order to avoid complications, controversy, that member sometimes becomes absent from the meeting in order to avoid controversy. In that case, the vote is generally not counted. Whenever a member is absent from any meeting, her vote will not be counted. In that case, the veto power will be proved that that member did not utilize her veto power. However, due to this abstinence from voting, the negative vote or the veto will not it will not be considered as negative vote or veto of the permanent members. That means each member of the Security Council has one veto power. Each member of the Security Council, Security Council has one vote. Each member of the Security Council has one vote. The decisions on procedural matter are made by an affirmative vote of 9 members, and including the concurring votes of all 5 members. But the negative vote of a permanent member is called veto. Negative vote of a permanent member is called veto. That means whenever all the members, 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent, came to a conclusion that they would solve one international problems unanimously, 9 members used their positive vote, but one permanent member used her negative vote. That means that member utilized veto power. This negative vote is known as veto. This negative vote of a permanent member is known as veto. This negative vote of a member of the Security Council is known as veto. But generally, 5 permanent members has the veto right, veto power. Each member of the Security Council has 1 vote. Decisions on presidential matters are made by an affirmative vote of the 9 members, including the concurring votes of all 5 permanent members. The negative vote of a permanent member is called a veto. The negative vote of a permanent member is called veto. So, a permanent member cannot cast any negative vote. A negative vote will be treated as veto. A negative vote of a permanent member will be treated as veto. And veto means negative vote. So, each and every permanent member is supposed to, cast positive vote but not negative vote. Whenever they all would come to a conclusion that this political crisis or international crisis would be solved in consultation with these 5 permanent members. But suddenly, after being consented by each and every 5 permanent members in the Security Council, 1 permanent member suddenly casts her negative vote, means utilizes her veto power. In that case, there will be a political deadlock. The international crisis and problems which was going to be solved, the process will be obstructed. That's why all the members are supposed to cast positive votes. No one is supposed to cast negative votes, because negative vote is known as veto. And the council is powerless to act if any of the 5 permanent members uses veto power. That's why abstinence from the voting does not amount to a negative vote or veto. Functions and powers of the Security Council. There are certain points of the functions and powers of the Security Council. There are certain functions and powers of the Security Council. Number 1, the Security Council takes military action against an aggressor. Those who become aggressive towards the weak nations, weak countries, the Security Council takes immediate action against them. Second point, the Security Council exercises the trusteeship functions of United Nations in strategic matters and in strategic areas. Next point, the Security Council recommends the names of a person to be the Secretary General to the General Assembly, according to which the General Assembly appoints any person to be the Secretary General of the United Nations. So it is the most important work to appoint a person as the Secretary General in consultation with the Security Council by the General Assembly. Besides, the judges of the International Court of Justice also are appointed in consultation with the Security Council by the General Assembly. Next one, to formulate plans for the establishment of a system of regulate armaments. Racing armament is curse for the nation. Already the whole world witnessed 2 world wars, the First World War and the Second World War. That's why it is the first and foremost duty of the Security Council to formulate plans for the establishment of a system to regulate armament or to stop race of armament among the members of the world or among the countries of the world, to investigate any dispute or situation which might lead to international problems, which might lead to international friction, and to take military action against an aggressor. It is the first and foremost duty of the Security Council to maintain international peace, international security. It is the first and foremost duty of the Security Council. That's why the Security Council plays an important role in maintaining international peace and security in accordance with the principles and purposes of the United Nations. The principles and purposes of the United Nations is to establish, international understanding, brotherhood, cordial relationship among the countries of the world. That's why the Security Council maintains, on behalf of the United Nations, maintains security, maintains international understanding, maintains peace throughout the world. And next one, it determines the existence of a threat to the peace and of act of aggression, and to recommend what action should be taken. Suppose one aggressor became a cause of a threat for any weak nation, any weak countries. In that case, what action should be taken will be finalized by the Security Council. And to call on members to apply economic sanctions and other measures to involving the cause of force to prevent or stop aggression. It is another duty of the Security Council to make the member countries, the permanent and including non-permanent, permanent including non-permanent members, to make them understand the necessity to stop the horrors of aggression, horrors of attacking weak countries, and in order to stop causing threat, in order to stop causing international tension, the member states of the Security Council have to shoulder many responsibilities to make them stop. To take military action against an aggressor. Suppose one aggressor, in spite of being warned, could not take any initiative and kept on threatening a weak country in order to establish colony over there or in order to invade the country. But Security Council is constantly giving warning to stop doing it so. But she does not have any will to hear the instruction, to hear the Security Council. In that case, Security Council, what military action should be taken against that state who is disobeying the existence of the Security Council will be decided by the Security Council. In that case, the Security Council is not supposed to consult the General Assembly. It is the work and secrecy and privacy of the Security Council. The Security Council will decide what action should be taken against that aggressor. Besides, the Security Council recommends the admission of new members. The members who the countries who would likely to be the member of the Security Council, it is the work of the Security Council to recommend them as the member of the Security Council. So these are the most important functions and powers of the Security Council, my dear students. Next day we shall discuss about International Court of Justice. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you.